this is kind of interesting. So a mock draft from Matt Miller from ESPN.com. With the 74th pick, he has the Browns going defensive tackle Zach Pickens. So here is Zach Pickens' scouting report from NFL.com. And it's kind of interesting. Projected to go second or third round. The comp, Maurice Hurst, to the Browns signed. Athletic interior defender with experience and length, gap control tackle. Also the quickness to play, traits that might be better suited in attacking upfield. And Scott, when I look at that, that screams Jim Schwartz, kind of defensive tackle.
I think that you're exactly right, and I think it's also kind of a hybrid of what Andrew Berry's looked for in the past, right? He hasn't drafted any 330-pound D tackles, right? Jordan Elliott was less than 300 pounds. Perry and Winfrey, Tommy Togiai, they're not behemoths to take on two gaps. Now, Dalvin Tomlinson, who they signed in free agency, is that mold, and I think Jim Schwartz and Andrew Berry came together and said, hey, you need one of those guys, right? The Browns are so bad against the run last year on defense that they needed somebody that can really fortify the interior. But I think their fallback and their default is to get guys that attack up the field, that can rush the quarterback on third down. So that's why I think Pickens fits in what they'd be looking for.
Yeah, and I think you need both. Well, I know you need both because we saw the run defense. Guys that attacked up the field didn't quite get it done a season ago. At the same mock draft, 98, Miller has the Browns taking a wide receiver, Jaden Reed. Addition of Elijah Moore. Speed at the position can't be ignored. Value on the board. Reed, a home run hitter. He's projected there as a fourth or fifth rounder, and he's one of those guys that's kind of all over the place with what guys think he's going to be. Some of the folks at the Senior Bowl think he could end up, being, other than the top end guys, the next group of them. And you see Greg Ward as the comp. Looked like determined by size, too tight-hipped. For stop and start routes. Could be bottom line is he has the look of a guy that could be a long-term NFL contributor. Reed's an intriguing guy because, again, his things are all over the place.
Yeah, he is. And, I've heard that name. I'm actually finishing a story right now about the couple of University of Cincinnati receivers, Tyler Scott and Trey Tucker. And, Scott, I kind of assumed he'd be gone for the Browns by the time they get to 74. You've seen him as a second-round guy. But Daniel Jeremiah from NFL Network has him ranked 114th on his big board. So you just never know. Receiver's interesting. A lot of times it's the type of receiver you're looking for, a trait like you mentioned, and if you have that elite speed. So I certainly think the Browns will take a receiver. I'm not sure if it'll be in the third round or not, but I could see them doing it just because, like we talked about, you can never have enough speed. I think that position's evolving. The offense is evolving with Deshaun Watson, and I think that's kind of a work in progress where that might be the direction the Browns would go.